Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And every year for me, Thanksgiving feels like the Super Bowl. It's when I'm the busiest. I get the most questions from people. Doesn't matter how many times I have posted or done cooking demos of how to make a turkey. I get more questions about how to make a turkey. And honestly, I don't even know why a turkey is so intimidating. It's probably like the easiest thing you can make because you season it, you put it in the oven, and you kind of forget about it for like 3.5 hours. So it's just, is it time consuming? Yes. But is it labor intensive? No. Anywho, I put out there for you all to send me your Thanksgiving questions, and I'm here to answer them. I did this last Thanksgiving here at All on the Table and got some great questions. It was a lot of fun. So hit me with the questions. I got Laura here, my assistant, helping me out, and she is going to play all your questions.
When dry brining a turkey, after the dry brine has set a day or two or so, do I need to rinse the bird before I cook it? Thank you.
That's a great question. No, you do not need to rinse the bird. The point of the dry brine is that all of those seasonings are going to penetrate deep down into the meat, because most of the time, like when you salt something, it's just the surface that's getting the salt. But when you do a dry brine, I like to allow 24 to 48 hours in the refrigerator uncovered for at least 24 hours. And the dry brine is going to penetrate deep down into the turkey meat to season it all the way through. But also, it's going to help give you the crispy skin because you're taking out the moisture that's in that skin. So the moisture is the enemy for crispy turkey skin, and we all want that crispy skin. So the dry brine is going to help dry it out, and it leaving it uncovered in the refrigerator, the air, that's also going to help it get more crispy and more dried out. So keep the water away. Do not rinse it off. And you don't need to wash your turkey first either. Just like you don't need to wash chicken. That's a myth. And you end up spreading more germs than you do saving, for certain.
Everybody always talks about how to keep a turkey moist while it's cooking. What is your number one way of keeping a turkey moist? There are many ways, obviously, basting, cheesecloth soaked in butter, but I want to know exactly what you do. Thanks, Katie.
My number one tip for keeping a turkey moist and juicy is don't overcook it. That's the most important thing. So you want to have a meat thermometer for your turkey, and you're going to insert the meat thermometer in the thickest part of the thigh, and that's going to be your gauge. And 165 is what's considered safe for poultry. But remember that you're going to have a rest period for your turkey. So once the turkey comes out of the oven, it needs at least an hour to sit there. I know that people are going to go, what, an hour? It's going to get cold. There's so much heat in that bird. It's going to stay hot. Do not worry. That temperature is going to continue to rise in the rest time. So if you take it out a little under 165, it's okay because it's going to keep going up, and that's going to help your bird stay nice and juicy. I'm a fan of basting, but not over basting. So I let it go for like an hour, hour and a half without basting, and then I start, because every time you open that oven door to do it, you're going to let heat out and you're going to increase the amount of time that you have to cook the bird. So I like to actually put a little maple syrup in my baste, and that's going to give it that beautiful brown, crispy skin. So usually I only baste 2 or 3 times throughout the process, and it's more about the browning and the crispy skin than it is about keeping the bird juicy. I also put butter underneath the skin, so it kind of self-bastes.
Hi, Katie. No question. I just want to say thank you. I love all your content. I'm a fellow West Virginian too. I'm from Charleston. That's my little one in the background. I have 2 also IVF babies. Have happy Thanksgiving. I hope you and your family have a great holiday. Bye.
Oh, Archie's sweet. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I love my fellow West Virginians.
Hi, Katie. Comment, it's Carla here from Boston, period. I'm wondering what your favorite dry brine is for turkey and also your favorite make-ahead mashed potato recipe is, period. Love your content. Happy early Thanksgiving.
I love the punctuation in there. So for my dry brine, I just do salt. You need a lot of salt, like more than you think you're going to need, like 3-4 tablespoons. And then I add in onion powder, garlic powder, and black pepper. That's it. I don't get fancy with it. For make-ahead mashed potatoes, you should search Jeff Morrow's Mom's Mashed Potatoes. He made those on the kitchen years ago, and they have found a permanent place on my Thanksgiving table because mashed potatoes are usually one of those things, much like gravy, that you're making at the last minute and you're sweating to get them out there. And these potatoes you can actually make a couple days in advance, and they are the creamiest, most delicious mashed potatoes. Aside from my grandmother's, they are the best. So Pam Morrow mashed potatoes, check it out.
Hi, Katie. This is Jessica. I was just wondering what I do with a turkey breast in order to make it stay nice and juicy. Thank you and have a good day.
I love doing a turkey breast on Thanksgiving, especially if you've got a smaller group. You don't have to do a big full turkey. Also, if you have a big group, rather than getting like a 22-pound turkey, which to me takes forever, it never gets fully cooked appropriately. Like, the dress is dried out always. Get a smaller, more manageable turkey size, like a 14 to 16 pound, and then make an additional turkey breast. So what I like to do with the turkey breast to make it special, I make my herb butter, just like when I do a full turkey, put that under the skin, and then I wrap the turkey in bacon. And that makes it delicious. You can do it boneless or bone-in. I prefer a boneless turkey breast because it's just easier to slice, and I think we're all about ease with this. And then I also have a recipe for a turkey breast cooked in a Dutch oven, and that's as easy as it comes because then you make the gravy right in that Dutch oven as well. Both of those recipes are on my website. I have a new website, by the way. It's katieleekitchen.com, and I have all of these recipes on there and tons of Thanksgiving and holiday recipes. So check both of those out there.
Hi, Katie. Big fan. We are going to cook a turkey this Thanksgiving. We've kind of gotten away from it the last few years, but I definitely want to save the carcass and make a turkey soup. Any suggestions or go-to recipes? Thanks.
Great. It's so easy to use that carcass for turkey soup. So take it, put it in a big pot, like a Dutch oven, put in an onion, couple pieces of celery, couple pieces of carrot, couple bay leaves, some garlic, cover it with water, bring it to a boil. Oh, I also like to put like a teaspoon of turmeric in there as well. That just gives it a really nice color. Half teaspoon or teaspoon. Bring it to a boil. Then reduce it to a simmer, salt it, salt the heck out of it. You're going to need way more salt than you think you're going to need, and taste it. Reduce it to a simmer, cover it, and you're going to cook it for a long time. Like do like 3 hours, like really get that nice and reduced and rich and get all of those flavors out of the bones, out of the remaining skin, the remaining meat. And then you're going to take it and strain it. Throw away what you strained out so that it's just the stock. And then you're going to kind of start over. I like to do with, again, onions, carrots, celery, and mirepoix, all of those diced up, kind of sweat them a little bit in some butter. Add your stock, add your leftover meat. And if there's any other vegetables that you want to add, put those in there as well. And again, just remember to salt. Taste it, salt, salt, salt.
Hi, Katie. First of all, I love your show. I love seeing you on the kitchen, and I'm going to miss you. I love what you have going on, with your wine company and whatnot. So my question is, how can I really serve up a Thanksgiving turkey that will be super juicy and flavorful. Thank you.
So many Thanksgiving turkey questions. Everybody wants that juicy, flavorful turkey. So here's my steps to a good turkey. I also have this on my website, on my Instagram, TikTok. The first thing I do is dry brine. Then I take that out of the fridge 24 to 48 hours later. I put an herb butter under the skin. Then it goes into the oven. I started at 425, put it in the oven, immediately turn it down to 350. Then I cook it, how long? Until it's done, which is 165 degrees. And I will have basted it 2 to 3 times during that time, and that's it. Don't overthink it. Don't get yourself all wound up. It's just a big chicken.
Do you ever do a non-traditional Thanksgiving where you order Chinese or Mexican? Or have you ever done something like a turkey pot pie instead of all the fixings?
I'm pretty traditional when it comes to Thanksgiving. And when people ask me my favorite thing to cook, it's Thanksgiving dinner. So I like to stick to the traditional elements. I went through a period when I was younger of traveling on Thanksgiving, and I usually went somewhere kind of exotic. One year I was in India, one year I was in Morocco, another year I was in Japan. So I kind of missed out on doing the full dinner, and I would always come home and make it because I just crave those traditional flavors.
Hi, Katie. Is there a way to evenly cook the dark meat and the white meat on the turkey? I know a lot of people spatchcock it, but does that actually work, A? And B, if there's a better way to do it while also keeping the turkey mostly whole for presentation purposes, any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, girl.
Well, the spatchcocking is a great route to go because it does help you cook really evenly, but it also cuts down your cooking time significantly. So that's a great option. You can also, I know you said that you wanted to keep the bird mostly together for presentation, but it really does work nicely to have the turkey cut into 8 pieces and cook it completely separately. That works as well. But really, I think that if you don't get too big of a turkey, like if you stay in that 14 to 16 pound range, you should be able to cook the white meat and the dark meat appropriately in the same amount of time. Just monitor it. If it starts to look like the breast is getting too dark, just tint it with a little bit of foil while it's in the oven.
Hey, Katie. Kate here from Annapolis, Maryland. I was wondering, do I take the turkey out before it hits 165 and then let it rest and hit 165 before cutting into it? Or do I let it reach 165 in the oven and then take it out? I just don't want a dry turkey. Thanks for the help.
That's kind of a tricky one. Like, I technically should not tell you to take it out before 165. You absolutely can. It will go up 5 to 10 degrees in that resting period. During that hour, it will hit the 165. But if you feel at all squeamish about it, then wait till it hits 165 and then take it out. You're not really going to, if it hits 165 in the oven and then it goes up in that hour, it's not like you're going to completely have ruined your bird and have it dried out. It's when people keep it in there and just cook it to death. Like somebody cooks a 16-pound turkey for 5.5 hours. That's when you really run into problems. And just have enough gravy. If it's dry, and gravy covers up a multitude of sins.
Hi, Katie. We do Thanksgiving with just a couple of people, so we're not looking for a lot of food to be made. Do you have any advice for how to only serve like 4 people or under? Best recipes to make that don't make too much. Of course, we love the leftovers, but doing a 16-pound turkey for 4 people is a little excessive. Love you. Thanks so much.
Great question. I think if you buy a turkey that's a 12-pound turkey, you'll be just fine. Or if you go the route of a turkey breast, if you don't care about having the dark meat. I just did a whole Thanksgiving dinner just so that I could break down each of the recipes for my social media and do cooking reels of them. And I got a 12-pound turkey, and 4 of us ate it with leftovers, and it was kind of perfect. Like, to me, that's the sweet spot, is a 12-pound turkey for 4 people. Or just get turkey breast. And that makes great leftovers as well. You can send home anything that's left with your friends. Get some takeout boxes.
Hi, Katie. This is Erica Sanderson from Atlanta, Georgia. And my question is about knives. So, not specific to Thanksgiving, but there is a lot of chopping and cutting that goes on. So, I think it's appropriate. I just wanted to see if you could recommend the basic knives that every home chef should have. I think that would be so helpful, and also specific to Thanksgiving in terms of carving the meat, cutting bread, cubing bread, things like that. So I would sure appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
That's a great question, because I think that people get sucked into buying these big knife sets, and you do not need all of that. And it just takes up a place on your countertop, collects dust, and you spent too much money on it. The only 3 knives you need: a good chef's knife, a paring knife, and a serrated knife. So you're going to use the serrated knife, like you said, cutting up bread, cubing it. Actually, the serrated knife you can also use for things like tomatoes. I never use a regular knife on tomatoes. The serrated knife just cuts it perfectly. You can use the serrated knife on a cake. Anything kind of delicate, that actually works with really well. Paring knife for prepping any small veggies, anything like littler that you need to do, like fruit. And then the chef's knife for everything. And I carve my turkey with a chef's knife. I don't use a slicing knife. I just use my chef's knife. And get one that you really like hold it, feel it. Don't be afraid of the big blade. Keep your knives sharp. You can go to a butcher and see if your butcher could sharpen your knives. A lot of kitchen supply stores will have knife sharpening days. Here in New York City, we have a knife sharpening truck that goes around. So make an investment in your knives, and then make an investment to keep them sharp, because a sharp knife is a safe knife. Don't be afraid of that, because if it's dull and you're pressing on it, that's when you cut yourself. So yeah, don't worry about buying all those knives.
Hi, Katie. I'm so glad you're doing this. I am a mom who really treasures good food, and my kids are asking me to make a turkey. And I haven't really done that before. I've made a turkey breast, but I think I'm going to make the whole turkey. And I'm not going to stuff it. I'll make stuffing on the side. So I just want to know, what turkey should I buy? Should I buy it fresh? Should I buy a butterball? Should I buy it marinated, already brined? I want to do it easy and simple. I'm a big fan of that. So if you can please help me, I'd appreciate it. My name is Gail. Thank you.
That's a great question. So I think fresh or frozen, it doesn't matter. And if you're going to do frozen, for every 4 to 5 pounds, you need to allow 1 day in the refrigerator for it to thaw, so that it has plenty of time. And even after that, maybe 1 day to grow on, because sometimes those turkeys are just so frozen solid that they take a little extra time. You can submerge it in water and change the water every 30 minutes to thaw it faster. I'm not a big fan of that. I think that it gets a little risky with food safety to do that. So I'd rather you just take your time and thaw it out. Don't get too big of a turkey. And I'm not a fan of buying one that's pre-brined or pre-marinated, because you don't know what's in it. It's probably going to be really heavy on sodium, but also could have some preservatives in there. So just do it yourself. It's so easy. I'm sure you already have everything in your spice rack that you need to do it yourself, to do that easy dry brine.
Hi, Katie. I was wondering, I'm always running out of gravy on Thanksgiving. Do you have a make-ahead gravy that you use?
You can't run out of the gravy. Always make more gravy than you think you're going to need. I do have a make ahead gravy recipe that you can find on katieleekitchen.com. You can make it ahead with some turkey wings, which are really inexpensive to pick up at the store. And you can even freeze it if you need to. And just as Laura, who's here with me, she told me that her mom used to always buy a jar of gravy to have on hand just in case, because that's the thing that's like you're doing at the last minute. And if you run out of time or if you mess up, at least you know you got that backup. I love, this is not an advertisement, I love Williams Sonoma's jarred turkey gravy. It is so good. And I always buy it a couple days after Thanksgiving when it goes on sale and keep it around because it doesn't go bad.
Hey, Katie. This is Nancy calling from North Carolina. I love cooking turkeys, but I'm 65 years old now, and cooking a giant turkey for my rather large family, which is now composed of all 3 children having children of their own and spouses, and totaling about 15 of us, we need a giant turkey. How can I cook turkey and not have to lift this giant thing out of the oven? Any tips? Thanks.
So I'm going to say it again, get a smaller size turkey and the turkey breast, but make your turkey breasts the day before. So if there's a whole lot of you, buy 2 boneless or however many you need, cook them the day before, and then to reheat them after they've been sliced, have some hot chicken stock that you just pour over the top, ladle it over the top, and that'll be just enough to reheat it and get it nice and moist and juicy.
Hi, Katie. I'm a big fan of your podcast. My question is, with your Thanksgiving turkey, how long do you take it out of the refrigerator before you put it in the oven? What temperature do you cook it on? And do you put tin foil on the turkey when you first begin to cook it? Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving.
So you're going to want to take the turkey out of the refrigerator an hour to an hour and a half before it's time to put it in the oven. So I like to make myself a schedule. If I know I'm going to sit down for Thanksgiving lunch at 2, then I start backtracking of how long the turkey needs to cook and how long it needs to rest and how long it needs to have sat out of the fridge as well. So hour to an hour and a half, let it come close to room temperature before it goes in. I started at 425, and as soon as it goes in, I immediately reduce the oven to 350. That just helps give it a nice little shock of heat and start to brown that skin. And no, I do not cover it with foil at the beginning because I want it to start the browning process. If it starts getting too brown, that's when you can cover it with foil.
Hi, Katie. My name's April, and for the first time in my 51 years, I won't be having Thanksgiving with my family at home. Since my husband and I moved out of state, we're looking for ways to celebrate this season and also stay connected with family far away. I was wondering if you had any tips for how to enjoy the holiday together when you're not physically together. Thanks so much.
I think you and your husband ought to treat yourself to a great dinner out and go do something different so you're not sitting at home and like feeling sad that you're not with your family members. So go do something special, maybe get dressed up and go to a nice dinner out, and then connect with your family on FaceTime or on Zoom, or make plans to see each other another time. But just do something totally different, and I think that'll make it fun and special. Well, that was a lot of fun answering your questions. I enjoy always hearing what's on your minds and what you're stuck on, because that just helps me make recipes and know what to write about or talk about for the following Thanksgiving and later holidays. So keep your questions coming. You can send them to me on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm at Katie Lee Beagle. And then also check out my new website, katieleekitchen.com, for tons of recipes. I'm always posting new ones on there. I have all my Thanksgiving and holiday recipes right there at your fingertips. Thanks so much for listening. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble.